see this with someone with dementia. What will happen is they'll be a little more in their limbic brain as opposed to the prefrontal cortex, like she showed in the videos at lunch. The prefrontal cortex, you start to have less functioning there, so they'll just inevitably use their limbic brain, and so they're paranoid, they're more afraid. The limbic brain is just firing. They don't have the capacity to use their prefrontal cortex, but you all do, and that's why I'm giving this talk. If you think about thinking, that's what brain integration is. It's using your higher reasoning to calm yourself down and to remove yourself from very difficult circumstances because you deserve better. First thing I want to do is define the brain. So will everyone just lift up their hand for me, because this is a brain. Who knew? Okay. If this is a brain, where do you think the brain stem is? Yeah, right, the brain stem. Okay, great. Where do you think the limbic brain is on the hand? Brain health piece of it is when you're under a lot of stress, the limbic brain is firing. So I call that the fight, flight, freeze mode, right? And Teepa Snow was talking about that some on the video. So a lot of things she's talking about are the same stuff I'm going to be talking about. But what we do know from studies is that if you have long-term stress as a caregiver, your prefrontal cortex goes offline, and you're more in your limbic brain. So the prefrontal cortex, this part of your brain, she was talking about it at lunch. It is an amazing part of your brain. There's more furrows in your brain than any other, right here, than any other area. It has executive function, higher reasoning, complex thought. It's where you do thinking about thinking. So when you are under stress, the middle finger limbic brain is firing, the fight, flight, freeze mode is happening, and this part of your brain, which is so fantastic, intuition, morality, complex thought, it goes offline. You plan ahead, like 3 weeks in advance or 6 months in advance. You plan the vacation, you talk about the vacation ahead of time. Whenever you think about the vacation, it calms you down. Anything that can get you out of the emotional state that you're stuck in when you're really stressed out is an example of brain integration. How you need to plan ahead. And the reason why is that, and she said, Eileen said this earlier, the worst time to make decisions is in crisis. And the reason why is because you're in your limbic brain, which is fear, and you're not accessing complex thoughts. So you're not making the best decisions. So I recommend things. One could be if you have a trusted source you can go to, like a friend, or if you're teaming with a geriatric care manager, for example. The key for you as a caregiver is what's called self-regulation, where you pay attention to your stress level inside, and you notice if you're feeling very stressed out, that it's not a good time to make a decision. So that's one thing you just want to keep in mind as you go about your day. My other question to everyone in the room is, what color would you say that sound was that you just made? Purple?
Black and blue.
Black and blue.
Black and blue.
Orange. Someone does not like orange. The poor color orange. And you're probably wondering, like, why am I doing this? Why am I asking about the color of stress and the sound of stress? Right? It's brain integration. So one of the main principles of brain integration is that you don't just be very linear in your thinking. And it's the same way when I'm presenting in front of you all. You want to use all your different senses. You want to bring things together and be versatile and flexible. So that's like a hallmark of what brain integration is. So I'm trying to demonstrate it as I give this presentation.
My name is Janice Bayruns. I'm from Apollo Beach, Florida. And what I loved about the talk today is that she focused a lot on the brain and the effects of the brain on caregiving. So many talks talk about how the brain affects the person who is in a disease state or has dementia, but hers was really focused on caregiving, and I thought that was really beneficial.